there. In this video, I am quickly going to show you the easiest way to allow your students to have multiple attempts at Aplia online working paper assignments. So looking at this MindTap course, you probably have one of your own. I'm in the general journal book, but if you use multi-column, this works exactly the same way. Under each chapter in this MindTap course, there are end-of-lesson review folders which house the work together and on your own working paper assignments. Once we move down to the Apply Your Understanding folder, that's where we find our application, mastery, and challenge working paper assignments that you might find at the back of your book. Now, all of these you might have noticed are preset to count towards a grade. That's where you see count towards a grade in orange. And they're actually all being delivered in the same way. There are 4 different ways that an Aplia online working paper assignment can be delivered to the student. And I'm going to click over here into the Aplia app to show you where you can quickly find the descriptions of those delivery types. So once I open this app, it's going to show me a list of all the Aplia assignments inside my course. It's alphabetical. I can search for any assignments using this search bar. But up here on the right where there's a question mark, if I click this, it actually shows me some FAQs for the Aplia app. And the very first one are assignment types. So all of the Aplia online working paper assignments are by default Grade It Now. The idea behind Grade It Now is that if the assignment has multiple versions, which means a student could complete the assignment once, learn from it, view their feedback, and then attempt it again with a different data set. So it would actually be a very similar question, but with different maybe accounts or even amounts in the transactions. So even though these are set up as Grade It Now, which would allow students to complete the assignment 3 times, trying a different version each time that they attempt it, most of the online working paper assignments will revert to the standard setting, which means that students just have one shot at each question and all students see the same version of that question. The only time that students will automatically get 3 attempts and they're looking at different versions are if you go through your course and under the Apply Your Understanding folder, some of these have randomized in the title. Any assignment that says randomized will actually have those multiple versions, and that's when students will get the 3 attempts. Everything else is right now reverting to standard, so my students only get one shot at this. Now, a lot of teachers want students to be able to try each working paper assignment as many times as they can to learn from their mistakes and work through the course that way. So if that is something that you want to do, I would recommend changing your delivery type to unlimited. Now, unlimited means that students receive unlimited amount of attempts at each assignment and they're getting their feedback each time. You can see it says that scores do not become a part of their course grade. So because it is an unlimited setting, it will change these assignments from count towards a grade to practice. So what I'm going to show you is if you really want your students to have multiple attempts, you can do that and change the assignment type to unlimited. It will say that it counts for practice, but you're able to filter in your gradebook to be able to see those practice scores. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to click back in this Aplia app, and I'm going to find the working papers for my chapter 5. And right now I can see that they are set up to count towards a grade. I'm going to search for my working papers. 5-. Here we go. And I'm going to expand the Aplia app so I can see this a little bit better. But over here, these are the 4 that I'm going to change right now. I can see that they're all set up to be Grade It Now and they're counting towards a grade. If I click the little Edit Pencil tool to the right of these, I can select Unlimited from the drop down and click Save. So I'm going to do this 4 times right now. And I do have to do this for every assignment. There isn't a batch editing option in the Aplia app, unfortunately. But now that I've saved those 4 assignments, I'm going to actually click out of the Aplia app. And I'm going to have to refresh my screen. You won't see it change until you do refresh or sign out and sign back in. But at that point, as soon as you make that change, if you have students in the course, it will affect any students who are going in and taking those activities. But now if I go into Chapter 5 and I look at my end of lesson review, those working paper assignments are now set up as practice, but they're going to allow my students to take those as many times as they want. So now that I've done this, for you to be able to see these grades, if I click into my gradebook here, if I click into the Progress app, I'm now in the gradebook. I'm going to click Expand All Grades so I can actually see each assignment that my students are taking. So in this gradebook, there are some standard settings happening behind the scenes, and the standard setting is that you're only seeing assignments in here that were set up to count towards a grade. Those are the ones that are flowing into your gradebook. Using the Filter Assignments button right up here in the top, I can actually filter my gradebook to show me the student scores on practice assignments. So I can actually select practice to only see practice assignments, or I could click all assignments, which will also include those practice assignments. So I'm going to click all, click Save Settings. And now that I've done that, if I actually search for Working Papers 5-, I will be able to see those here. My students haven't completed these yet. But if I had actually tried to go in here and look for Working Papers 5-2 before I turned on this filter, I wouldn't see it here. So to show you that is how you can have students have unlimited attempts, and then you'd be able to see their grades by changing that filter setting in the gradebook. Now I just want to show you an example of how this does work by clicking into one of my students. This allows me to see all of the assignments that they've completed, their score, and the amount of times that they have attempted it, as well as some other engagement tracking. So in this particular course, I had already set up my working paper assignment 1-1 as unlimited. It is then set to practice, but I can see my students' score. They got a 94.7%. They attempted it one time. And if I click into this assignment, I can actually view that attempt and actually see what they entered and what they and the work that they completed. So there it is. With the standard settings, students get one attempt. They all are count towards grade, and you'll see it in your gradebook. If you want students to have multiple attempts, change those settings to unlimited within the Aplia app, and then just remember to turn on Show Practice Assignments within your gradebook. Thanks so much.